In my opinion, the government needs to address the issue of freedom of religion and belief as serious as it tackles issues on economy, safety, and good governance. Only when governments take these kind of issues seriously will they create platforms for the issue to be discussed, for engagements to take place, for awareness to be created, for the public to be educated, and then at the end for legislative amendments. In my observation, the issue of freedom of religion and belief is some say a sensitive subject, and a nation belonging to the Southeast Asian family, some tend to view it as a Western concept, and they fear that freedom of religion will meddle into their own private, personal, religious space. But I stand in solidarity with other MPs, some who have been persecuted because of their faith, some who have been persecuted for their stand to defend those who have been religiously persecuted, to advocate for more transparency, to speak about the issue in the region. Because you cannot always label the issue of freedom of religion and belief as a boogeyman and keep it, put it aside, shelve the issue. Malaysia, for example, we have a slew of archaic laws, draconian laws, which tend to criminalize the way Malaysians profess their faith sometimes. For example, we have seen persecutions of Shias and Ahmadiyas in Malaysia, and under the new government, the Minister of Religious Affairs has taken a non-discriminating stand against anyone who has a different faith or even a different sexual orientation, which is where I think nations should be heading. It's a non-discriminating stand on issues like this. But what is important is that lawmakers have to speak up without fear or favor. And you need to speak up for others who are voiceless, even though they are not of the same faith as you, even though you don't know their issues. Then take the initiative and the trouble to learn, to understand. We have aborigines in Malaysia who have been reports that they have been forced to convert to Islam. We've had cases of body snatchings, and we've had child marriage is actually one of the hottest topics in Malaysia at the moment. And you find there is that religion issue being brought into the whole issue of the rights of a child. So we need to prevent all this from happening, and how a nation deals with it creates a precedence for how other nations, because we cite best practices from other countries, and when you see another nation doing something that's good for children, for women, for youths, you want to learn about it and bring that back to your country. I have learned for the past 4 years meeting other MPs who have made a difference using the systems that they exist in their countries. In Malaysia today, I foresee a setting up of a select committee in Parliament for human rights and gender. And let's not forget that women are in many cases the biggest victims of religious persecutions. So it is important that this human rights select committee in Parliament, which has never been established under the previous regime, so we have this now to work with. Now what is important is to reach out to CSOs who are working on the ground and to get good reliable data, evidence-based data. You cannot come up with policies and laws if you don't have good data to back those up. And apart from that, engagement with the different religious groups to find out what are the issues that they are facing, whether it is with religious laws in the countries or civil laws or customary laws. So what I have learned is, and what I have done, is to consistently remind MPs to always tie issues up to the freedom of religion and belief, to tie issues up with how we have to defend and uphold human rights in our countries. And you have to speak, like I said, always to speak for those who are voiceless, the marginalized and the minorities.